if you're desperate for a piss break, I recommend, like, whenever she's putting on the videotapes, probably don't miss much then. It's like, it's so close to being like a good horror movie. Falls apart right at the end. We meet Piper and Andy. They go home from the bus stop. Piper's like, "Oh, hi Dad, I'm home." And oh yeah, she's blind. And he doesn't say anything. And then Andy's like, "Okay, we're coming in to the bathroom. Knock, knock, knock. Please respond." The dad is dead. They go to a foster home. The foster mama, I think her name's Laura or something. She's like a little on edge. She's like over like welcoming and stuff. I think there's tape on the floor, and Andy recognizes it. He's like, "Oh, is that for Piper?" And Laura's like, "Oh no, that's for Kathy. She's blind too," in like present tense. And then she's like, "Oh, let me show you my dog. He's over here. Woof woof woof." And oh no, I'm just kidding. I had him stuffed because he's dead. And I do have a cat running around. I haven't had him stuffed yet. And it's like, whoa, dude, like she disassociates between like life and death. She doesn't even like what. So we find out that the dog's dead and stuffed, and the cat is living and walking around. And Kathy is she is dead. She's on the phone. She's like, "Oh, if you go outside, don't let the cat out." Cat walks out, runs out. And they're like, "Oh, I've got to chase up." Piper stays behind because she hasn't felt around everywhere. Doesn't have a stick on her for some reason. Andy goes outside and, whoa, it's kind of weird. The pool is drained. But even weirder still, it's standing in the middle of the pool. Who's that? And Laura's talking about, "Oh, that's Ollie." Andy's like, "Oh, he's cool. He's smiling at you, Piper." And then Laura piles onto that. He goes, "Oh, he's got red hair too, curly." She doesn't say grapefruit, which is like, that's the deal, that's the word. She can tell that he's sugarcoating everything. So when she says grapefruit, it's basically like, tell it to me straight. They go to the dad's funeral. She's like, "Oh, what does he look like?" And he's staring straight forward. He does not want to look at this guy. And he's like, "He looks good, Piper." She says grapefruit. And he's like, "Yeah, he looks good." And then Laura is like, "Oh, I'm not going to let you do this, Andy. I'm not going to let you leave without saying goodbye." And then turns to Piper and is like, "You didn't even look at him." And Piper's like, "Oh, I said grapefruit. I said grapefruit." So she's mad. And then Laura and Andy go up together. Laura's like, "Oh, is she kissing goodbye?" "On the lips." In the car. And she's like, "Oh, what do you guys want to do for fun?" Piper says, "Oh, I don't know, kick Andy in the balls." Andy says, "I don't know, get hammered." And Laura's like, "Oh, yeah, all right, let's get hammered then." It was a little weird because Andy's like 17, Piper's even younger. So, in fairness, it goes to a montage, and during the montage, Piper does seem to drink the least amount, and then probably Andy, and then Laura probably drinks the most. They play a fun game, they drink, they sing the dad's song. First of all, most of it is diegetic sound, which means it's like music is playing because the characters are playing music. Each song seemed to be symbolic or like fit the movie somehow, if that makes sense. I think the framing was really good. There were like it was just what you needed to see as the audience. Not 100% sure how they pulled it off, but they pulled it off, let me tell you. Most horror movies are objective, and they're like, these are the bad guys, that girl's possessed, these are the good guys, he's gonna die, and it's like, not necessarily on the nose, but it's all objective. Somehow, they made this subjective. It's from her perspective, and then Ollie's perspective, and Piper and Andy. Holy shit, dude! This movie is creepy as fuck, man. Fuck me, never watching that again. This shit was nasty. I want to be clear, I did not enjoy myself. This is a horror movie, and here's the thing. It really is better than Heresy, better than Mother. It's worse than Bloodline. Bloodlines was a good horror movie for the fact that voyeurism, wish fulfillment in a way, it's gory, it's silly and over the top, and you know what to expect, and you can, like Heresy and Mother, bring her back is a good horror movie because it's horrific. It's not quite as visceral as Mother, but it is still like, I didn't like watching that. However, like Heresy, like Mother, it let me down at the end. In Heresy, a lot of weird things happen, and there's not a lot, but there's some excusability because it's a horror movie. It's like, in an action film, the guy can do a triple backflip and it'd be perfectly fine. That's not even a real example. But in an adventure movie, they did one backflip and everybody cheers. It's like, oh, fuck yeah, that was an amazing feat of athleticism. And then in a horror movie, you get halfway do the backflip into a shark's mouth. Like about 3/4 of the way through the movie, things that for me got a little too weird, and I wasn't interested, and I wasn't scared. I'm like, that's just kind of dumb. Mother, very much the same. Well, except it didn't go 3/4. It went even further. It got like 7/8 of the way through the movie. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Mother, it came out the same year Heresy did. It loops back around. And so all the stakes were for nothing. Bring her back, I was sort of rooting for this movie because it was a good horror movie, not as visceral as Mother or Heresy, but it was good. And I'm like, there's no jump scares at all. There's kind of a reverse jump scare. There's a scare jump in there, I'll tell you that. Up until like the very end of the movie. People, directors of horror, why do you do this? Why do you do this? This Bring It Back was perfectly realistic. I didn't brush off anything. Skip to the time mark on the screen if you don't want to know what happens. Laura is trying to drown Piper. That's like part of the ritual. Kathy died by drowning, so that's how she gets Kathy. That's like step 1 or 2 to getting Kathy into Piper. She's losing it. I'm like, alright, no, okay, cool. It's not a good happy ending like I wanted, but that's okay. Ollie is nearby, and here's a demon inside of him, like a leaf blower. He's like a soul blower, basically. Sucks Kathy's soul out of the body, keeps it for a while, and then blows it into Piper's body after she's dead. That's basically what he's doing. So he's like getting ready to do that. Pretty hungry, I guess. He wants to go eat like Piper, and Laura's like, no, not yet, buddy, not yet. It's not like that. It's more like, not yet, not yet. And then Piper's like, no. So it's what I think is going to happen is that Piper's going to die, soul leaves her body, and then she's going to be like possessed by Kathy. Laura says to Piper earlier on in the film, she's like, "Oh, I'd do anything for her to call me mum one last time." Piper's fighting back, and then she says, I think underwater, she says mum, and then I'm like, oh, I guess she died. Now that's Kathy talking. Okay, cool. I thought it was going to take longer than that. Whatever. I guess the movie is nearly over. Cool. Let's go home. I think Laura lets her go or something. She's taken aback, quite literally. And she's like, I don't think she says Kathy, but she's taken aback. Like, well, that's Kathy. And I'm like, why are you surprised? Turns out Piper's still alive. And she said that to shock her. Piper escapes. And then she gets to the road. I guess she can like feel the terrain. You know, it's like, oh, this is the pool. This is the dirt. Oh, this has got to be some bitumen right here. This is probably the road. Okay, here's the thing. If you want that ending, perfectly fine. Don't have Piper, the blind little girl, submerged underwater. Have her like trick Laura, right? Have Piper like sneak past a bit of furniture because she has to remember where all the things are, and Laura can just see where everything is. And so she can like, she doesn't have to remember where it is. You know what I mean? Like have her blindness save her. You know what I mean? Or just like don't have her go into the pool and start to drown. Or if you wanted her to be in the pool and start drowning, follow through and drowning. Right? Okay? I whispered. Just to give you some context on how weird that is, I don't talk in movies ever, like at all. Not if someone next to me, my friend, asks me a question about them. I'm not, don't talk. I'm here to be immersed in the film, to get me a critiquer of film, as a filmmaker myself, and someone who doesn't talk during movies at all. To get me in the cinema to whisper, even to whisper, that's kind of impressive. It's better than Charlie's Angels. Okay, it's better than The Good Liar, better than June 2, better than Bad Boys Life, better than June 1, better than Wicked 1. Look, it was better than Black Adam. It wasn't any better than No Hard Feelings. I'm bringing her back just above Black Adam.